I'm going to be interviewing Zach here today, and he actually made over $1,000 with just a few hundred subscribers, and he didn't have that many views on his channel as well. And we're going to go over how you can actually make thousands of dollars with less than even 500 subscribers on YouTube. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Zachary, and I have a channel on this platform here and Instagram. We have run a couple pages actually together. So in this video, he's just going to ask me some questions about how I was, able to do this, and hopefully you'll learn some stuff from this video, this interview and whatnot. Hopefully you can gain some knowledge that you didn't know before, some new insights, and I managed to make 1,250 in 3 days after starting my YouTube channel, and it was actually 6 days after, but it was the third video I posted, and we're gonna kind of get into that. So yeah, we can get started pretty much.
All right,
yeah.
so basically I just want to go over, they're most interested in how much money you made. So you can go over how much money you made, but let's just talk about how many views you actually got on that video.
Yeah, so on that video, I actually ended up getting 30 views, which is extremely low for YouTube. But because the views, obviously this on YouTube, because the views on YouTube are such higher quality, on YouTube rather than another platform like TikTok, Instagram, all these different other short form video content, YouTube has such high converting leads that those 30 views that I got in that video, I did get a booked meeting on that call. And honestly, the numbers on this whole thing are really insane because it was my third video, so it was my third video being posted. Only got 30 views, and I got one booked call on that, and this was kind of insane for me because I didn't expect any booked calls. But that same booked call, I had 100% closing rate because it was my first deal from that video, and I closed it 3 days later when the call was actually in place the same day.
That's actually very impressive. As you know, with just that many views, he got a booked meeting. And of course, I know what a booked meeting means for you. But want to just talk about your offer? I know you switched offers now, but talk about how you actually got that client on that offer.
Yeah, so obviously I was doing a marketing agency before, so some of you may have not known this, but I was doing a marketing agency before and selling marketing services to obviously e-commerce businesses, and I was making e-commerce related videos, so around that topic, and I was building an audience around the e-commerce topic rather than what I'm selling specifically. And when I did this, people who were into e-commerce and this general niche, they were actually going on my video, clicking on it, and they were interested in it. So obviously, I had somebody who was interested, booked a call with me. 3 days later, he ended up paying.
Yeah, so that's actually crazy results. As some of you guys know, getting $1,250 with just 30 views, right?
Yeah, 30 views.
30 views on YouTube. Now this is not 30 views total, this is 30 views on that video. But he got a booked call with just 30 views, which is absolutely insane. But if you do implement the right strategies, of course it's very hard to make thousands of dollars with 30 views on a low ticket offer. But if you are selling something that's more low ticket, under $100, then what you do want to focus on is just getting like viral videos that are more popular. That's how you'd want to go about that.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that because like I've said this before many times, on YouTube the leads are so high converting that when you're getting tons of views on YouTube, they're not just people who are just interested in your content for the entertainment purpose, but more of the learning purpose. They're there for like 4 different reasons. This could be educational value, entertainment value, they're there for news, or they're there for something that's interesting. And for the type of content that I've been creating, it's more of that educational style. Maybe they're learning something. So the viewers I'm getting, they're ready to learn, they're ready to invest money into something that's going to grow their life. So basing my content around that sort of, offer and that niche, that really kind of expands my market just because I'm targeting such a specific, audience with such a specific offer. And when those kind of combine, you have to realize, right, if you're selling something in the market that everyone needs and everyone's looking for a certain specific thing that's in the market at the time, and they kind of see your thing, you're like guaranteed to make a sale. Obviously, this isn't 100% guaranteed, but obviously, if you're selling something somebody needs and they're looking for that thing that you're selling and they see it, you're almost guaranteed a sale. So that's definitely a huge thing with YouTube is the leads are so high converting.
So of course, the viewers are interested in how you made this money with that amount of subscribers. Of course, you kind of told them the basics, but go more in depth of how you actually learned how to monetize your content.
Yeah, so honestly, at the beginning, a lot of people think that there's some piece of information out there, once they go through tons of YouTube videos and books and whatnot, they're going to find a piece of information, and that's just going to be the key factor that unlocks that $10,000 per month mark. But that's really not the case. Listen, so many people spend so much time learning than actually implementing, and they keep learning, learning, learning. And this is great, this is huge, but if you're not actually doing and trying different things, it's not going to help you. So eventually, I kind of realized this, and I went through a mind shift where instead of watching countless YouTube videos, getting the same information, maybe just unlocking one piece of information that didn't really even help me personally, I ended up actually hiring a mentor. So this was for $6,000. And I'd say this is one of the biggest things you can do just because you're getting personalized information to your business instead of general knowledge that everybody can access. It's kind of more personalized to your business. So you're going to have such a, I guess, well-rounded mind into your offer, your niche, and whatnot, according to your business model rather than everybody having this information. So you're competing with everybody having the same exact information.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with that. It is definitely very important to hire someone. Now, that's actually what I do here. I'm being fully transparent. I teach young entrepreneurs how to add anywhere between $10,000 to $100,000 a month with their business or skill, which we'll go into a little bit because it doesn't actually have to be a business model. It could just be a skill that you have. So if you are interested in that, there is a link in the description below where you can book a call with me. But if you don't want to work with me, it's just important to work with someone who knows how to. But I think it's definitely important to work with someone who actually knows what they're doing with organic content.
Yeah, actually, I think it's huge. Listen, a lot of the huge creators online, maybe they are selling one-on-ones. It's very doubtful. But to find somebody who's selling a one-on-one and it's personalized to you, I would say that, getting a mentor rather than buying a course off of a huge guru is going to help you so much more because, listen, if you buy from a small creator like Luca here, for example, right, you're getting all of the information you need because, listen, he's being fully transparent. Maybe he's a newcomer. I am completely too. He's actually ahead of me. But, you're going to learn so much more because he's trying to give you all the information you can. These newer, I guess, mentors, they're trying to give you as much information and as much knowledge as they can, give you as much, to learn from them, I guess, as they can. So I think it's definitely effective at getting a smaller mentor, I guess, for a channel because a lot of the big gurus are just in it for the money.
I definitely do agree with that, and I don't want to sell what my offer is too much to the audience just because this is just an interview between me and you. But I do want to build on that a little bit. It is important. I'm not going to name names, but you're right. There's people selling courses out there that are kind of just you go through the course, watch videos, and you're done. And this could work to a certain extent, but if you already have a general idea about your business or whatever you're doing, then it's not going to help you individually.
Well, listen, another thing is a lot of people say courses are bad, and this could be true to an extent because, for example, right, a lot of people will say, oh, I don't like courses, everybody's getting this, blah, blah, blah. Courses can be absolutely helpful, If you're completely a new beginner and there's information you didn't know on there and you're learning tons, it can be extremely helpful. But honestly, it's about implementing the things that are in that course. If you're not doing that, you're going to say the course isn't helpful, and that's your opinion. That's completely fine. But I'd say this is more for general. I guess if you're saying a specific course you're saying is bad, let's say some of you on this channel might know Eamon Gonzi, right? If you're saying his course is bad, for example, because you used it one time and you thought it was bad, you didn't have a good experience with it, I think it's bad to tell everybody it's a bad course just because you didn't have a good experience with it because a lot of the people who are beginners and just learning, right, they might have an amazing time with it because they didn't know all this information, but because you already knew this, it might be time for you to move to a mentor, get some, more personalized information.
And a good example of this, I would say, is Andrew Tate as well. He's selling a course for $50 a month. And if you're just a beginner, starting your business as a beginner, I think that Andrew Tate's course, it could help you out a lot, and it teaches you so much.
Yeah, I actually bought his course a while back.
Oh, really? Want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so for his course, obviously, I don't know if a lot of you know, but there's so many different routes you can go. So you could go social media marketing route. You could go for there's so many things. There's crypto on there, and I know I've heard Andrew Tate said this a couple of times about hating crypto and whatnot, but he has crypto on there. He has reselling. He has just small side hustles and stuff like that. So you can choose the route you want to go, right? But what I noticed is all the information on there, because there wasn't one-on-ones in there. They don't have time for that. They're obviously huge businessmen. But a lot of the courses on there were just general information. I was flying by these courses with information that I already knew. Like, it literally told you how to set up a profile. So obviously, if you were a new beginner, you didn't know how to set up a profile, this could be extremely helpful for you because, it's literally going to tell you how to set up a profile personally. But once you move past this, once you know how to do this, like, there's not much more to learn. And if you can have a mentor to answer all of your questions rather than going through hours of videos, let me tell you, it's definitely so much more helpful. So, of course, can be good if I'd say you're like a beginner.
Yeah, with my business, I'm trying to make it like kind of exclusive at a certain extent because I'm not trying to grow to like Iman Ganzi's level because then I wouldn't be able to provide my one-on-one mentorship just because I'd be too popular and I'd sell like a more low ticket offer just to like get a lot of sales. Of course it would help people, but I want to stick to just giving as much value as I can. All right, so let's move on a little bit. Now, this works so well. I know it works so well for you. It's working very well for me. And of course, I scaled to 1,000 subscribers at this point.
Yeah.
And we had mentors as well that helped us actually get to where we are at today. So I just truly understand the importance of it. And we know that organic content works so well, right? You agree?
Yeah, I would completely agree.
It is literally the best way to scale your business. Arguably, that's what I would say. I think it's the best way.
Yeah, because a lot of people do cold outreach, and listen, it wastes a lot of your time just because, you're doing hundreds of DMs per day. Listen, I hired people for like 2 weeks in a row doing 45 DMs a day. So if you do the math, what is that? Like 600 DMs or something like that? Like literally, I'll calculate it right now. Right? So let's say 45 DMs a day times 14. It's 630. So like imagine 630 DMs. I didn't land anybody off of those. So you're sending hundreds of DMs, not landing anybody. Nobody's actually interested in what you offer. And chances are, not going to lie, a lot of you are just bad at cold outreach. And you kind of just have to face that, I would say, because a lot of people, like, you can't be good necessarily at cold outreach because you're going and offering things to people that they don't want, they don't care about. They get hundreds of DMs already every single day. So you thinking that you have a specific email that's better than everybody else's is honestly garbage because, with AI in place now, you can literally generate good emails, I would say, edit them a little bit and then send them off and think they're good, but everybody gets them now, so it's really useless.
Yeah, I mentioned that in a few of my videos. Cold outreach, it just doesn't work anymore because businesses, even my Instagram, I only have around 150 followers on there because I'm mostly focusing on YouTube. And even with just 150 followers, I'm getting so many DMs. So, I might read them, but if it sounds like they're trying to sell me something, I might just click off of it and I might never even look at it again. So we realized that, organic content, leveraging organic content for your business or skill works so well. So I want to explain to them what we've actually been doing recently. Actually, within the last week, we started opening up. I'll let him explain, actually.
Yeah. So we actually made, just to prove all the different niches, we actually opened up a couple more businesses just to prove it in individual niches. Now we might even open up a couple more. We can also obviously talk about that. But right now we just have a couple of them. We have like one about the gym. We have one about surfing,
skimboarding.
And then we're thinking about one, health related, something of that topic maybe. And then also we have one for a networking group eventually. But right now we're mainly focused on our two main accounts, so his and mine. And then, of course, the gym account and then the surfing account. So these are two, like, imagine a surfing account that's so specific. We're not trying to actually sell on anything on these accounts at the moment, but we're actually just trying to build them up and build a community on these accounts related to what we're selling, I guess, eventually in the future. So if we can build a community around that specific niche, I would say, so surfing or gym or whatever it happens to be, and we're not selling anything now, we're literally just getting attention. And honestly, nowadays in this new economy, money is attention, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I actually mentioned that in one of my videos. I said, in the modern day, attention equals money. And I'll explain that a little and then let you explain as well. But if you're gaining people's attention, if you're building an audience and just getting these followers and subscribers in, just think about this, all right? I mentioned this, but let me think of another example. All right, let's just say Andrew Tate.
Okay.
All right, so he's very popular. We know that millions, if not a billion people know him. Like, there's so many people that know his name. And, so many people know him. If he just asked someone for $1, or I mean all his fans for $1, maybe not all of them would donate, of course, but maybe 10% of them would, or 1%, whatever it is, he'd still make millions of dollars just off of that. And he also mentioned that he has a good networking, so if he were to ask one of his good friends, for millions of dollars, they would pay as well. But yeah. I'm just saying that building an audience, once you have an audience, that's attention, and that's people that watch your content, they know what you're saying is true, and then they follow you, and then they follow your journey as well.
Yeah, so kind of going on to that, they're not necessarily buying from you because of your name. It has to do with your name. Eventually they're going to know your name and whatnot. But I would say it's your personality, your characteristics, what they like about you personally. And a lot of people like Andrew Tate because of the stuff he says. A lot of people don't like him because of the stuff he says. So there's two very separate sides, I would say, to this. But when you build these characteristics and these personality traits of yourself that are kind of unique to the whole different market, a lot of people are going to see that, they're going to like your content, and you're going to get a lot more purchases. Like, there's some people who go crazy on social media platforms. I've seen some crazy videos, and obviously they don't act like this in person, but they're literally just doing this, to build a community around their personality, I would say, or, whatnot. But yeah, so that's definitely a huge point. It's more your name, building that attention.
And what do you think about, people always say, stop being a consumer and become a creator? What are your thoughts on that?
About that topic, to be honest, I completely agree with that. So basically saying, obviously, you're saying instead of watching content all the time, you should be creating content.
Yeah.
I think that's completely true because, listen, if you're sitting around all day, right, you're scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through YouTube, whatever it happens to be, really, chances are you're not learning, first of all. I could guarantee that 80% of you aren't learning from this content because a lot of you are just sitting around watching entertaining content. It's not so much for the educational purposes. And once you can kind of shift and make all those videos towards the educational purposes, right, I would say only then it might be useful. But either way, in that free time, you're not really doing anything. Like I said before, you're learning more information that you might already know. So instead of doing that, you should literally be creating content. Because here's the thing, right? When you start to create content, and here's what I noticed completely when I started creating content, right? I'm creating content, but in the process, I'm learning. I'm learning how to speak better. I'm learning, I guess, all these different things in the business industry from watching others videos. Now, watching others' videos meaning, to get examples, I would say.
Yeah.
And once I can kind of get better understandings on different topics, now when you go on a certain video, right, you're making a video about a specific topic, now you can kind of branch off in that video and talk about other specific things. And this is really where you know the topic a lot more. It makes you sound a lot more professional. So I would definitely say that, making more content, even if you're not good on camera, you can literally record it. You don't have to post it. But I would say just literally talking to a camera consistently is literally going to make your speech so much better. And then also you're going to learn a lot from this too, just because, you're watching other content to get ideas. And, during your videos, you might be stuck on a topic, right, for instance, and you're going to look up what that topic is. You might search about it a lot more, and that's literally going to give you the answers that you've been looking for, going to expand your knowledge on the whole topic. So, yeah.
And I'm even saying that here on my channel. I'm saying, stop consuming and start creating as you're consuming here on my channel. But what I want you to do after this video is actually to just stop watching videos and to actually start putting a plan together to actually start building out organic content yourself. And I know that'll definitely hurt my watch time and my views, because if the YouTube algorithm sees that people get off YouTube, then they might just promote my video less, because of course the whole point of YouTube is to get more attention on YouTube. So if you just get off YouTube after watching this video, then YouTube might not promote this video that well, but that's completely fine. I want what's best for you. But what I want you to talk about, Zach, is, it's easy to say this. It's easy to say just stop becoming a consumer, stop watching content, and start producing content, but I think this is really hard. And, just kind of explain to them that one video could change your life, so this kind of just gives us drive and motivation.
Yeah, listen, to be honest, I feel like if I didn't get the first sale in that first 3 days, I'd be a lot more demotivated than I was. After I got that first sale, obviously 1,250 after 3 days of posting, wasn't even good content, it was bad quality and whatnot. I'd say if you can get your first client in the first month, I'd say that will give you plenty of motivation to keep going. And even if it doesn't, it's about the discipline part, because, right, motivation is just like a flame that trickles every once in a while, kind of boosts you to get some work done every once in a while. But discipline is kind of that, I guess, low work ethic where you're just consistently working. It's not a ton like motivation would be, like huge spikes. But if you can make content and be putting out content even once a week, once to 2 times a week, right? And you're not getting results from it, like the worst case scenario is you're gonna grow followers eventually and you're gonna learn from that, and your newer videos are gonna be better and better and you're gonna see results from it for eventually, So for me personally, it wasn't too hard to getting into this mindset because I've never been, I guess, too much of a consumer, to be honest. So, and I've always kind of been into business. When I switched into business, I was already ready for it. Yeah. So I would definitely say for those who aren't and they're just looking to get into it, because I hear so many people say this, right? When they want to quit something, they're like, oh, I'm doing a detox, or like I'm doing, just a cool down, I guess, of it. Like I knew somebody who vaped, right? They were just quitting more recently, and they were saying, I'm trying this new flavor called Clear because I want to stop doing the flavor, so I'm doing Clear. First of all, that's like the dumbest name ever. It just sounds dumb. But like, why don't you just stop, right? I was like, the best way to quit is literally just throw it out. So take that into context with the content you're consuming, right? If you can't stop watching content, stop. If you are consistently watching content and you want to quit that, literally just stop. Like the next time you do it, the next time you notice you're watching content, literally just get down and force yourself to do something, a consequence for every time you do that. I would definitely say that's what I did personally because I was in it a little bit. It took me a week, done.
That's definitely an interesting take, and I know you know a lot about business as well because you had like multiple businesses in the past, but more about the motivation part. What I heard is just think about it kind of like this. If you're posting content, say, every other day, so every 2 days,
mm-hmm.
and then if you're posting this content, then say you miss a day, that could have been the day that if you posted that piece of content, you would have got a book call or you would have got that sale. So you can't, if you work every day at your business, you can't miss a lucky day.
Yeah, exactly, because there's lucky days, yeah.
I wouldn't call it luck, but if we're just saying in terms of luck, let's just say, if, say you get 2 sales a month, say you didn't post those 2 pieces of content, you wouldn't have got those sales.
Exactly.
So if you're actually working hard at it every day, you won't miss a lucky day. But like I said, I don't really believe that it's luck whatsoever, actually.
Yeah.
Because if you put in the work, once you actually get sales or clients, it'll actually build your audience way more and you'll get way more clients and sales. And this is just completely not luck.
Just one thing though, because you said obviously putting in the work and then it will work out. I think it's also about that, but also putting in the work and changing and strategizing based off of those results, right? If you're not changing even your whole business model, you're not going to see changes in your business, because if you're still posting content that isn't working, you're not going to see changes. You're not going to get more book calls. You're not going to get more sales, whatnot. So I definitely think using the fails that you get in that business and then changing from those changes just a huge thing. So yeah.
And I know it's more towards the end of the video, and we're going to wrap it up pretty soon. And I know he already provided proof of his business. He made over $1,000 with like 30 views, which is absolutely crazy. And that's profit, by the way.
Yeah, that was complete profit.
The client, I believe, was $2,000, $2,500, but it's $1,250 profit.
Yeah, so like I said before, this was marketing, so I was only taking 1% of whatever they had to invest. So yeah, it was only a percent.
Yeah.
So now,
like I was saying, he already provided proof in that way. But as just a business owner itself, he's been an entrepreneur since he was like 12, 13 years old, even younger actually. So I'm just going quickly about your other businesses just to provide more proof about.
So like I said, I was doing marketing for e-commerce businesses because I used to run so many e-commerce businesses. I had my very, very first business might have been a clothing brand. And listen, when I was doing this, I completely didn't know what to do. I set up a website on this cheap website maker and whatnot. Everything was just pretty bad about it. I didn't do any marketing for it. Really didn't even do organic content. I just kind of made a website.
You have to shut off.
And I was,
like in a few seconds. Well, we just hit the max recording time on the camera, so that was 30 minutes long of recording, but we'll continue now. All right.
So yeah. Should I just continue?
Yeah, just continue.
All right, yeah. So yeah, like I said, So my first one was a clothing brand, and that failed massively just because, I didn't learn. I learned a lot from that, by the way. I didn't learn anything when doing that business. I just kind of set it up, was hoping for the best, whatnot. Didn't even. I could get so deep into that, but I'm not going to. So I was actually in a business class too, and I ended up making a car detailing business because, I was just kind of interested in that. But I kind of realized soon after that going door knocking, door to door, it just takes so long, so much time to make just the littlest amount, in my opinion. So it just really wasn't for me. And I made a clothing brand after that. It got a couple sales, but my last clothing brand, that did probably the best out of those. I made not even much, like $300 off of that. That wasn't even that good. And I started my marketing agency 2 years ago. And honestly, after the first 2 months, I quit on it, going in all in on my clothing brand. Then I kind of got out of that clothing brand, went back into marketing again. Then now I'm kind of shifting from marketing, seeing that organic content is really the route to go, being fully transparent. And yeah. So those are kind of the journeys I've been on, yeah.
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted you to go over that because a lot of the viewers are just like, are you kidding me? He made that much money with just 3 videos, right? So they think, that's not even that much work. Yeah. But you had so much knowledge and so much just information going into this. You had businesses for years. So it really isn't, it is your first 3 videos, but it takes years to build up to this point.
It's stacked up with knowledge, yeah.
Which again is another reason that it's important to get a mentor. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to sell my own offer here, but I just truly think that it is very important to hire someone who already has the information that takes years to actually collect.
Yeah, it really is, honestly. Giving, or I guess I should say getting access to information that people know, after long periods of time rather than putting in your own work is going to give you a huge boost in the long run, or even in the short term, just in getting that information, I guess. So, yeah.
So if you are just like a new business owner and you don't know like anything about a business model, or if you don't even know what business you want to start, you just want to make money, then I'd recommend like Andrew Tate's course or something like that. But if you are more serious and you already know a little bit, but you just want to scale leveraging organic content, like I said, there's a link in the description below where you can book a call with me. And it's just a one-on-one call with me where I'll just go over what I can do for you and your business. And it's, like I said, it's very exclusive.
Well, you're going to teach them, honestly, right? How to leverage social media, how to make organic content and monetize that, even if it's outsourcing that monetization process. So you don't need hundreds of thousands of subscribers, on YouTube to do that. You can have something that's, I guess, off of YouTube and monetizing your content to do that, right? I think that's a huge thing in this business model.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's all the questions that I had for you, but if you do have anything to add, go ahead and add that on to help the viewers a little.
Yeah, so I would definitely say, for the most part, don't, I guess, not overcomplicate yourself, but don't, I guess, overpush yourself. Don't put yourself in too much work watching all these videos to get knowledge when you could literally hire somebody, a mentor, one-on-ones, whatever it happens to be, and get all this information that you were looking for, kind of. I guess that's a huge thing, getting all this knowledge that you didn't really have to work for, So that's definitely one thing I would have to add is don't almost overcomplicate it for yourself,